दही बड़ा खाने का मन है।
वाह क्या स्वाद!
असली स्वाद तो MDH दही बड़ा रायता मसाले से ही आता है।
Hello and welcome. You're watching the Tuesday edition of This is Exclusive with me, Shavan Sen. It's a power-packed edition, starting with that special story coming in from Rameshwaram. Back in 1976, the Congress signed an agreement preventing fishermen from carrying out fishing activity in Kachativu Island. Tonight, for the first time, we're going to get you first-hand testimonies of what the fishermen have gone through inside Sri Lankan jails. Now, this much more coming up on This is Exclusive, but first, let's take you through the headlines we are tracking at this hour. Unknown gunman eliminates Al-Qaeda affiliate terrorist in Pakistan. American YouTuber enters Sentinel Island illegally and gets arrested. FIR confirms he visited India twice before he attempted the stunt. Indian entrepreneur Shruti Chaturvedi, detained for over 8 hours in the United States, narrates harrowing ordeal of treatment at the US airport. Agitation against Waqf Act takes a violent turn in Bengal's Murshidabad. Protesters set vehicles ablaze and clash with the police. US top court clears the road for the extradition of 26/11 terror attack mastermind Tahawwur Rana. Tamil fishermen returned to their state after being released from detention by Sri Lankan authorities, break silence on horrific instances of torture. Tonight on This is Exclusive, we start with the breaking news coming in. It's a targeted attack that took place late last evening in Pakistan. Qari Ijaz Ubaid, the provincial chief of the Alami Majlis Kawatam, and a prominent leader of the banned extremist group Ahle Sunawat wal Jamaat, which is an affiliate of the Al-Qaeda. He was gunned down by two unknown assailants in the Safid Deri area of Durar Road in Peshawar. The attack also left his associate seriously injured. Now, Ahle Sunawat wal Jamaat, a group previously associated with Al-Qaeda. Now, this strike comes as the latest in a series of killings that have taken place in Pakistan of late, wherein several wanted terrorists have been wiped out by unknown gunmen. Now, this has happened late last night in Pakistan. In fact, these are the first pictures now coming in of the killing that has taken place. We're going to take you through the moments after the attack that took place. Now, once again, there is absolute radio silence in Pakistan as far as these reports are concerned. Now, a confirmation coming in that Al-Qaeda affiliate member was taken down late last night, and this was just moments after that. What you see right now on your screen, a wanted Al-Qaeda terrorist taken down in Pakistan. Again, pretty much what we saw in the last few months, how you've had those who were members of the Lashkar-e-Toiba as well as other terror groups being taken down. Joining us on this broadcast are my colleagues Kaswar as well as Gursimran. We'll go back to the full frame visuals now coming in. First to you, Kaswar. Radio silence completely in Pakistan right now with regards to the killing that took place late last night. But the visuals that have been accessed by Republic TV clearly goes on to indicate that something did actually happen. And in fact, almost all these killings that have taken place in Pakistan, you've not had the administration responding to it at all.
Well, Shamul, let me tell you that the Pakistani authorities have not confirmed this target killing. This is really very interesting. But social media and the various news outlets have been rife with the news as well. And let me tell you that since 2023, a series of killings is happening across Pakistan's big city in Karachi, Lahore, Peshawar, and in some cases, in some of the districts, such type of killings have happened there in the districts at the Pakistan's, Afghanistan's porous border as well. Pakistani authorities have time and again pointed out that there is a foreign hand behind such type of target killings, but so far we know that such type of a wave that has engulfed a number of Pakistani clerics across big cities of Pakistan, it is still continues. But only thing which we have heard from by the Pakistani authorities is that they believe there might be a foreign hand and most probably Indian intelligence agencies behind this. But so far, they did not come up with any concrete, solid evidence behind their proof as well. And what I can tell you from Islamabad is that sadly, this terror wave still continues engulfing Pakistan's unnoted figure across big cities as well, Shaman.
Well, Kaswar, I'll request you to stay on with us. I'll also get in a quick word from my colleague Gursimran, who's getting us the latest details. Gursimran, we've also checked with our sources here in the security agencies. While they have also been perhaps a little muted, there is a confirmation that an Al-Qaeda affiliate was taken down in Pakistan. What more details are you picking up in terms of who this person is and how important is he in the hierarchy?
See, he was a provincial chief of Ahl Sunnat wal Jamaat, which is an affiliate of Al-Qaeda in Pakistan, because after the ex-Al-Qaeda people came to Pakistan, they formed this organization, and he was the provincial chief. This group was banned, first banned some 2 decades earlier during the Musharraf era in 2002-2003, but they managed to get the ban removed. But once again, they were banned in the 2016-17, and they were under ban. They were operating, but they were operating undercover. And Ijaz Ubaid, who has been killed by the unknown gunman. It was yesterday evening, we are told, that when he was moving along with his brother, he was fired upon by 2 gunmen that came on a bike. That similar old style killing has taken place, and this takes the total number of killings in last 40 days in Pakistan to 12. That is starting from 28th of February. There have been 12 targeted killings that have taken place in Pakistan. That is really concerning, and you see the number of victims and the name of the victims. They all are linked to this terror group or that terror group, or they have some affiliation with the terror groups directly or indirectly, be it Hizbul Mujahideen, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, and now the Al-Qaeda affiliate group that his provincial president, the provincial chief, has been killed by unknown gunmen. Shawan.
Well, thank you very much, Kaswar, as well as Gursimran, for getting us the latest details. An Al-Qaeda terrorist gunned down in Pakistan, a series of killings that have actually taken place in Pakistan. And many who are basically part of these terror groups and are seen as wanted have been taken down in the last few months itself. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a story that touches on the boundaries of law, culture, as well as the relentless pursuit of curiosity. The North Sentinel Island, one of the most isolated, protected places on Earth, remains completely off-limit to outsiders for a particular reason. Home to the fiercely independent Sentinelese tribe, the island has been a sanctuary for its inhabitants, safeguarding them from the outside world. Yet despite the strict laws protecting their isolation, one individual's reckless attempt to breach these boundaries has sparked a major controversy. Now, this 24-year-old American is making headlines after he allegedly entered Andaman and Nicobar Islands' isolated Sentinelese tribe. He was arrested, and when investigation was underway, it was found that this was his 3rd visit to India and 2nd attempt to breach the island's boundaries. In fact, this was only after a complaint that was actually registered that the American was taken into custody. In fact, he went inside the island, left a Diet Coke bottle, and comes out of it. All of this has happened even though the area is protected. In fact, joining us tonight on This Is Exclusive is the Tribal Welfare Officer, Dr. Arnab Sarkar, who was the complainant in this particular case. Dr. Arnab Sarkar, you were the one who raised a concern. You filed a complaint against this American, but many are raising this question that how exactly did he manage to enter the island, which was heavily protected? Mr. Sarkar, the question that I was asking you was based on your complaint, the American was taken into custody. But many are asking this question as to how did the American, first of all, land in the island, which was considered to be heavily guarded? We'll try and reconnect with Dr. Arnab Sarkar. He's the Tribal Welfare Officer of the Andaman Nicobar Administration. It was Dr. Sarkar's complaint that basically led to the arrest of this US national who has been arrested. In fact, what turns out from the investigation, we'll try and show you the pictures also of the boat, the inflatable boat that was basically used by the American. In fact, this was not just an isolated case. It turns out that multiple attempts were actually made by this American to enter the island. He has done that twice in the past. This was perhaps the third time that he was going in. Let me just quickly take you through the visuals that are coming in. Now, these visuals are of the items that were basically recovered. We'll try and place those visuals also while I take this question with Dr. Sarkar. Dr. Sarkar, if you can hear me, the question that I was asking you was, it was based on your complaint that this American was arrested. It turns out from the investigation that this is not the first time. This is perhaps the third time that he was making an entry to the island itself. Many are asking this question as to how exactly did he land in the first place when this was considered to be a completely heavily guarded island.
Actually, sir, the matter is under investigation by the Andaman and Nicobar police. And I'm just a complainant in this matter. And I have lodged a complaint against that person who has illegally entered this forbidden area. And he knows very well that that is forbidden area.
Mr. Sarkar, that area is completely guarded. And the fact that some have constantly tried to enter the island, particularly the Americans, in the past in 2018 too, a similar incident took place. So what has really happened thereafter? You're, after all, the Tribal Welfare Officer of the Andaman Nicobar Administration. I'm assuming that after the incident that took place in 2018, some measures would have taken place. So is there a larger conspiracy at play? Are these Americans really coming in with an ulterior motive?
Actually, you see, sir, the Andaman Nicobar Islands, especially Andaman, is one of the major tourist destinations. And here many foreign tourists and Indian tourists come here. And they are made aware of the forbidden areas, restricted areas, and they follow very strictly to it. And Andaman and Nicobar police is quite vigilant in this matter. And so, actually, no such incident happened right after 2018. So actually, he deliberately went there.
One final question that I want to take with you, Dr. Sarkar.
Yes, please.
Do you believe that they are part of groups who are basically trying to infiltrate and perhaps destroy the flora and fauna of the area and perhaps tamper with the inhabitants of this island?
I believe that as an anthropologist, I'm not only as a tribal welfare officer, but I'm sitting here as an anthropologist also. And as far as the Sentinels are concerned, they are perhaps the oldest communities of the present world, Negrito communities of the present world. And they have no immunity against any outside diseases. So visit by him in that area is quite, risky for the lives of the entire community. And they, because they are very small in number, So it is, we have in history some examples like Great Andamanis. So many of the Great Andamanis sub-tribes like Akako, Akakede, Akakuchigwa, Akajuwai, Akabia, Bia were residing in the Poker area. All these sub-tribes were, decimated. They gone extinct just because of the result with the outside world, the context. So we are very cautious since then. And, as far as this tribal policy, and we have the policy hands off, eyes on. Means you don't have to interfere in their life, in their life, but you have to keep vigil on their island.
Right.
So Coast Guard and Andaman Nicobar police is working very hard to, secure this area and also the communities as well.
Dr. Sarkar, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast and bringing us up to speed on this entire issue. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you a ground report. This report comes in from the coastal town of Rameshwaram, where the livelihood of fishermen is now being caught in the cross currents of politics, international borders, and this is about their survival. For these men, every journey into the Bay of Bengal is not just the quest for fish, but a fight against arrest, fear, as well as broken promises. In fact, back in 1976, the Congress party actually signed an agreement preventing these very fishermen from carrying out any sort of fishing activities near the Extradition Island. It turns out that because of this agreement, when they cross over, you've had the Sri Lankan Navy taking them into custody. For the first time, these fishermen who were inside the jails of Sri Lanka have now come out and spoken about their ordeal. This is a special report by my colleague Sharda.
In the quiet coastal town of Rameshwaram, the sea isn't just a livelihood, it's a legacy. But for the fishermen here, every journey into the Bay of Bengal could end in fear, arrest, or worse. Republic's ground report uncovers the lives of fishermen who feel caught not just in troubled waters, but in the cross currents of politics, policy, and survival.
The fishermen community in Rameshwaram faces multiple difficulties, including being arrested by the Sri Lankan Navy. We are right here at the Rameshwaram jetty, where almost 800 fishermen along with their boats almost go on a sea expedition daily. They lead to the protest and livelihood issues when the Sri Lankan Navy arrests them. Historically being engaged in fishing in the Park Strait over the last few years after the Kachativu been given to Sri Lankan authorities, the fishermen of the Rameshwaram are frequently arrested and the boats are seized by the Sri Lankan Navy. Often alleged of poaching and crossing the international maritime borders, fishermen have organized protests, multiple strikes, including hunger strikes, demanding their release from both the state and central government.
Their struggles go far beyond the tides. They lie in a grey area shaped by political decisions, international borders, and forgotten promises. Fisherman Nishant says that the treatment in prison was dehumanizing. Kept in chains, stripped during security checks, and left with emotional scars that may never heal.
பெரிய போட்டு தான் போட்டிருந்தேன். போட்டு வந்து இலங்கையை வந்து நேவி வந்து அரெஸ்ட் பண்ணி அங்கே போட்டை பிடிச்சி போயிட்டாப்புல. பிடிச்சிட்டு போய் ஒரு 60 நாள் என்னமோ ஜெயிலில் இருந்தேன். எப்படி சொல்கிறது, 85 கிலோ என்னுடைய வெயிட் இருந்துச்சு. வரும்போது இடையே பார்க்கும்போது 76 கிலோ இருந்துச்சு. அந்தளவுக்கு உடலாலையும் மனதாலையும் ரொம்ப பாதிக்கப்பட்டு தான் அந்த ஊரில் இங்கே வந்தேன். வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் வேறு பொழப்புன்னு தெரியல. இன்ன வரைக்கும் கஷ்டப்பட்டு தான் இருக்கேன். ஒரு சின்ன போட்டு எடுத்திருக்கேன். அந்த மாதிரி அடிப்பட்ட சூழ்நிலைக்கு போயிட்டேன்.
The government, they say, has taken zero action.
ஒரு பாரம்பரிய மீன்பிடி வகுப்பை சேர்ந்தவன். நான் மீனவர் சங்க தலைவராக இருக்கேன். இந்த மீன்பிடி தொழில் முற்றிலும் அழிஞ்சிருமோன்னு சொல்கிற ஒரு அச்சத்தில் ஒரு நாளும் வந்து நாங்கள் வந்து வேதனையோடு இருக்கோம். காரணம் வந்து என்னென்னா, எல்லை தாண்டி மீன் பிடிக்க போகக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் எங்கே மீன் பிடிக்க போகணும்னு இந்த அரசாங்கம் சொல்ல மாட்டேங்குது. மீனவனுக்கும் எல்லை இல்லை. அதாவது வந்து இலங்கை மீன் இந்தியா மீன் பிரித்து பார்க்க முடியுமா? மீன் எங்கே இருக்கோ அங்கே வந்து இருக்கிறவன் தான் மீனவன். மீனே இல்லாத இடத்துல போய் ஒருத்தவன் தொழில் செஞ்சுக்கிறதான அவனுக்கு பேர் மீனவன் கிடையாது.
For Emerwin and hundreds of others, the Kachativu Island issue is more than a political headline. It is about survival.
இன்னைக்கு வந்து பார்த்தா ஒரு 3 நாட்டிக்கல் மைல் வந்து சிறு மீனவர்கள் மட்டும்தான் தொழில் பண்ணணும். இன்ஜின் வச்ச படகுகள் தொழில் பண்ணக்கூடாது. அதுபோக 4 நாட்டிக்கல் மைல் வந்து வெறும் பாறைகள் நிறைந்த பகுதி. அப்போ இது போக வெறும் 5 நாட்டிக்கல் மைல் தான் மீன் பிடிக்கிற இடம் இருக்குது. அப்போ ராமேஸ்வரத்தில் ஒரு 700 படகு இருக்குது, விசைப்படகு இருக்குது. 2000 நாட்டு படகு இருக்குது. இன்னைக்கு மண்டபத்தில் வந்து அங்கே 600 நாட்டு விசைப்படகு.
The fishermen have also said that they are left without conversation.
பாரத பிரதமர் இலங்கை போயிருக்காரு. மீனவர் பிரச்சனை சம்பந்தமாக பேச போயிருக்காரா? அங்கே வந்து நிறைய திட்டங்கள் இங்கே உள்ள பெரிய பெரிய ஆட்களுக்காக அம்பானிக்கும் அதானிக்கும் தொழில் தொடங்குறதுக்கு அங்கே போயிருக்காரு. இதில் வந்து மீனவர் பிரச்சனை சம்பந்தமாக பேசுனேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாரு. ஆனால் அவர் வந்து 13 விஷயம் பேசியிருக்காரு. இன்னைக்கு அங்கே வந்து இலங்கைக்கு கொடுத்த பணத்தில் வட்டி விகிதத்தை குறைச்சிருக்காங்க, காற்றாலை தொடங்கியிருக்காங்க, மின் உற்பத்தி தொடங்கியிருக்காங்க, இன்னும் எத்தனையோ திட்டங்கள். ஆனால் மீனவர் பிரச்சனை சம்பந்தமாக அதில் இருக்கா? அதில் அந்த 13 விஷயத்தில் இருக்கா? இல்லை.
They say they don't want the land of Kachathivu back, but they do want their fishing rights restored. And as if politics wasn't enough, there's another fear now: punishment. Fishermen who get arrested a second time face up to 2 years in prison.
நான் வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 40 வருஷ காலமாக இந்த தொழிலில், என் தந்தைக்கு இதே தொழில். பணமுள்ள படகு 40 லட்ச ரூபாய்க்குள்ள படகு வச்சு 35 40 லட்ச ரூபா வரைக்கும் உள்ள படகு வச்சு நாங்கள் தொழில் பார்த்துக்கிருக்கோம். எங்களுக்கு வந்து நாங்கள் இதில் இந்த போட்டை நம்பி தான் ஏகப்பட்ட குடும்பம், நானும் என்னை சார்ந்த ஒரு 10-30 குடும்பங்கள் சேர்ந்து இந்த ஒரு போட்டை நம்பி பிழைக்கிறோம். அப்படி பிழைக்கும் போது இந்த போட்டு வந்து இலங்கை நேவி வந்து எல்லை தாண்டி வந்ததாக மீன் பிடிக்க போனதில் வேறு எந்த குற்றமும் கிடையாது. எல்லை தாண்டி வந்தோம்னு சொல்கிற ஒரே காரணத்துக்காக வேண்டி எங்கள் படகையும் பறிமுதல் பண்ணி நம்ம கவர்மெண்ட்டு ஏதோ ஒரு சிறு தொகை மாதிரி தமிழக அரசு வந்து இப்போ உள்ளதுக்கு ஒரு 8 லட்ச ரூபா அறிவிச்சிருக்காங்க. அந்த 8 லட்ச ரூபா அறிவிச்சிருக்கிறது வந்து எங்களுக்கு போதாத காசு.
And while politics continues over the welfare of fishermen, the fishermen say that it's time politicians stop passing the blame and start taking responsibility.
Following Narendra Modi's visit to Sri Lanka, though the country there has agreed to release the 14 fishermen of the Rameshwaram island, the fishermen here express their gratitude to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. However, still have grief in them because they consider BJP still to be a party of North India who considers only religion as their main motive to help fishermen. The only worry that they have is there are more than 70 people still arrested by the Sri Lankan Navy who were still in the prisons there. They are asking who would be giving them the final solution, whether the state or the central government. It still continues to be a question for the Rameshwaram fishermen. Searching for their livelihood, they almost lose their lives in the sea. With Nandakumar from Rameshwaram, this is Sharda Natarajan.
Because for them, the sea is not a political issue. It is their past, present, and if things don't change, their sinking future.
And at last we bring you a shocking and a deeply troubling account of racial profiling and intimidation at one of America's busiest airports. On 6th of April, Shruti Chaturvedi along with her friend Shilpa was caught in a harrowing experience at the Alaska airport. What started as a routine drop-off quickly escalated into an 8-hour ordeal of detention, humiliation and fabricated evidence. This is the story of Shruti Chaturvedi.
Imagine being stuck in an alien country, that too on an airport, for over 7 hours, and you are being questioned by the FBI. We have somebody who is joining our broadcast today who has faced this and much more. Shruti Chaturvedi is joining us on this broadcast. Shruti, if you can hear me, we just want to understand the horrific experience of racial profiling and systemic intimidation which you have gone through at Alaska Airport.
Yes, so this was 6th of April in Alaska. I had my flight from Anchorage Airport. And so did my friend Shilpa, who was with me. Her flight was a few hours earlier than mine, so I'd gone to drop her to the airport. And the plan was that I drop her to the airport, come back to my room and pick my luggage and then go to the airport when around the time of my flight. I dropped her at the airport. I was at the coffee shop outside just having a coffee, and I got a message from her saying that the airport securities had flagged her bag apparently for a power bank. And the last message I got from her is like they've called the anti-bomb squad, and the police had completely curtailed her, and they were just taking her into detention, and that was the last message. And then I did not get any message from her, and her phone was switched off. So obviously I went to the airport police to ask where my friend was, and I told them that this was the last message I received from her, and I haven't heard from her after that. And they told me, oh, are you her friend? And I said yes, and they were like, oh, we're going to detain you as well. at this point in time, I was in my night dress. I had a jacket on. They asked me to give the jacket. They took away my phone, my wallet, everything, and they told me that we are detaining you as well. I told them if I can inform at my house or can I inform my parents, can I inform somebody that they're taking me into detention, and they denied that. And they put me also in a room. My friend was already in some detention room, and they put me in a detention room isolated. And that's where we were kept for about like 8 hours. During this time, for the first 2 hours, we were not given any information. I had no idea where my friend was. My friend had no idea where I was. There was another friend who was back in the Airbnb, and she had no idea where both of us were. And around this time was daytime in India, so my parents had no idea where I was because my phone was taken away and it was switched off. So there was no way to communicate. And all this time, even I was not informed what was actually happening or what crime was committed or anything at all. After 2.5 hours, I think the FBI officer came to the room and like told that he was the FBI officer, made me read the Miranda laws, like everything that we see in American series about, oh, you have right to remain silent and talk to an attorney and stuff like that. They made me read the Miranda laws and before that, I was searched by a male officer because apparently they did not have a female officer to search.
लाल रंग इसका अपार, तीखा कम है फिर भी स्वाद, बेमिसाल